Do you feel that this is a very personal attack by the Home Secretary upon the police force, or do you think she's justified and she's simply plain speaking and telling the truth?
Well, I think she's telling exactly the truth. And the idea that Keir Starmer's coming out, that the vast majority of people would disagree, is utter nonsense. I think she's speaking for the vast majority of people. And we see this time and time again. And I've been on this, on Talk TV many times saying this, that it's readily apparent that if you're in a fashionable left-wing sort of leaning organisation, whether it's be it Black Lives Matter, Extinction Rebellion, Just Stop Oil, anything like that, you're policed in a certain way. If you're Millwall football fans, anti-vax, anti-lockdown, you're treated very, very differently. If Tommy Robinson was marching down the London streets calling for a crusade, there wouldn't be anybody sort of interpreting that as a crusade to maybe change people to Christianity peacefully. It would be assumed to be the worst ever type of crusade, and he would be arrested, and so would the people with him. And so what people are seeing is that the police have moved away from policing without fear or favour. And it really boils down to how they recruit people, the senior officers. In the last 30, 40 years, they've moved away from recruiting ex-soldiers like me. So when I joined in '89, half the senior officers were ex-army. Now they're all of the same type. They're all of students. There's no diversity of ideas. They follow a certain track. And I think the idea that my fellow guest says that there's no evidence of this, no one can see it. It's the evidence of people's own eyes that they see this. And if you take, for example, the way the police police the Notting Hill Carnival, so you can twerk with a female officer to the point of indecent assault, you can smoke cannabis openly, you can abuse the police. But Millwall fans, if they did that, they'd be rapidly arrested. And people see this and think it isn't right in Britain. People should be treated fairly and the same. That's all we ask for. And it isn't right at all.
And you've just heard Gamal say a very different thing, though. He has said, not that there is fear or favour, but he said one size does not fit all. These are different people with different beliefs, maybe from different races or ethnicities. They need to be policed differently because they are different, not because the police has differing attitudes to them or what they stand for, but simply because they're different. And so therefore what you're looking for is a peaceable demonstration or carnival or whatever it is that you're policing that goes off without harm to anybody, without criminality, and everyone goes home again and everybody carries on with another day. And that there has got to be a sort of bespoke policing. I think, Gamal, you don't need me to paraphrase you, but I mean, I think that's what you were saying, a kind of tailor-made policing for each event, which has nothing to do with affiliations of the police and everything to do with efficiency, safety, and getting through it and getting out the other end again.
I'm afraid that's nonsense. Yes, of course you change things. The way you police a Remembrance Sunday event is different from the way you police a football match, and the same people might be there. But what we see, though, is the way the whole thing is policed, that if you are from a certain left-leaning group, you will be treated differently. You'll be given an easier ride. The police will be skateboarding with you or dancing the Macarena or whatever else they do. And we need to move away from this. The British police used to be the pride of the world. I was proud to be a Scotland Yard detective. Now people I speak to, former colleagues, are saying they just don't tell anybody what they did because they're so ashamed. And it's just moved away. And these demonstrations are not pro-Palestine, they're anti-Israel and they're anti-Jewish people. And I really stand by the Jewish community, who must be living in abject fear, and they deserve better than this.